This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
It's 1995.
Yep.
Every movie has a tagline. Every superhero has a shadowy past. And every villain has impeccable hair. Studios bet big on talking animals, overworked cops, and hackers who somehow type faster than light. Rom-coms came with montages, thrillers came with twist endings, and action movies came with at least one guy jumping through the glass in slow motion. If you were a toy, a vampire, or an awkward teenager with a dream, this was your year.
Yes.
Plot holes? Sure. But when the music swelled, someone yelled, "Go, go, go!" The audiences were in.
Oh.
Yeah, we were.
Zach's movie voice was kind of hot.
You do that for a living, Zach?
Yeah, jeez.
It's actually pretty good. Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
Go. I'm Kent.
And I'm Zach.
No, say it like you say it.
And I'm Zack.
I'd like to thank you for listening to our last episode, our debut album episode.
Thank you to Patrick Rhodes, who had a finger boot moment with me, apparently, when we both said "get good scrub" at the same time. I don't even remember when that happened.
I tried to look up what that meant. I still don't know the reference.
It's just a thing that we say. If it's like, "Oh, you lost," nope, just get good.
Scrub.
Yeah, it's just
Get me on a
no
t-shirt
t-shirts.
now. Okay, fine.
Well, it's fine. You
That's
know what?
cute. You guys had that moment. I still don't understand it.
You don't get it.
Kids these days.
So we talked about music, and who better to opine on the music situation than Instagram's very own Smooth Wave Tunes, who says, "I know it isn't really your style, Smooth Wave, right?
Yeah.
But Ready to Die by Notorious B.I.G. is a masterpiece.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
take it
obviously
easy.
very smooth.
Yeah.
Fun fact, by the way, when I was reviewing that comment, I accidentally hit a button and video called Smooth Wave Tunes from
nice.
the Baconsale account, and then I immediately grew more gray hair, and I felt bad about that. So.
My
Sorry.
fingers are too fat.
And he says, and Joe, I appreciate the Under the Table and Dreaming shout out. Such a good album. Probably the third best. What?
For Dave Matthews.
What?
Yeah. He just likes to talk about Dave Matthews.
Yeah, so that Before the Crowded
Yes.
Streets would be number one.
Yeah.
That should be number two. Okay, fine. Simu51 on Instagram says, every time y'all comment saying music now is some of the worst, just reminds me how wildly different our tastes are.
We're old.
There's tons of great stuff coming out on the metal and hard rock bands. Obviously, we know that.
Yeah.
Great episode. Loved hearing the different albums. To which I did follow up. I think Kent mentioned
there was a great list.
what recommendations?
I was like, yeah, tell us.
big old list. I'll check it out.
And I knew some of them. I felt young for a second.
I heard of one for a second.
I lost gray hair in that moment.
You can do that?
Yeah. Hair club for men.
Just for men.
just for men.
That's the dye.
I grew it, and then it went more brown.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And speaking of our taste, Abe Yaspi's just got it pegged. This episode should have been called Three Middle-Aged White Guys Talk About 90s Alternative Albums.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It was
It's a good
just,
comment from a middle-aged white guy.
that's just the show at this point, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad Kent mentioned Counting Crows,
Yeah.
amazing album, and their best. You two had a very good first album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they?
Good boy.
Have they ever had a good?
Hey.
Oh,
21 Pilots. 21 Pilots' first album is still their best, but you got to admit they've fallen off since. Depeche Mode album is not good, and no, it is not.
Okay.
No.
I agree.
There we go.
Thank you for your everyone, all the comments.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of Taylor Swift's banter on Twitter.
Yeah.
But we
Yep.
had a good time this week. Thank you. It was fun.
But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Zach?
We're talking about 1995.
You've done it again.
Now I could have gone the TV voice route. I don't know if you
what's
remember.
the TV voice?
Well, it was more like this.
Oh, yeah, 90s.
Wow.
Is it
Sir,
like
what's going on?
Is that BK Kids?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
When all the business organizations, business companies, that's what the word is, they're trying to do like rap in their ads and stuff like that. Right?
Yeah.
Or just like some researcher was like, hey, if we throw everything in their face and all of the colors, they'll just be glued to it.
It was an extreme time. Wasn't it?
Extreme.
Yeah.
So previously on Baconsale, just recently we did episode 485, Aging the Movies of 1985.
Uh-huh.
We had a good time with it.
I actually thought it was last season. It was so long ago. It was just
Yeah.
February.
Yeah.
Well,
It was
you also weren't
pre-500,
born
yes.
at that point,
Oh,
Zach.
I quit.
But guess what? Oh, yeah, you quit before then,
I
and now you're
retired.
back.
Yes.
And now we're talking about a time where you were actually a kid.
So we're moving forward a decade?
You existed as a person.
And we're doing the movies of 1995.
Yes, we are.
Now, just to set the stage, once again, for what the era of celebrity was in 1995, here's some celebrities that passed away in 1995.
Go on.
Donald Pleasance.
Oh,
Yeah.
Blofeld.
Burl Ives, the voice of Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ginger Rogers, love her.
Okay.
Elizabeth Montgomery from Bewitched.
Oh.
Phil Harris, the voice of Baloo the bear.
Oh,
he passed away.
okay.
And Dean Martin. Those people
really?
Yeah. And then celebrities that were born in 1995 include.
I don't want to hear it.
I want to compare who we just heard.
Yeah.
So celebrities that were born in 1995, Logan Paul.
You said celebrities.
Yeah, I did.
You don't make Zack do a spit take.
Post Malone,
Hey.
Dua Lipa,
Okay.
and Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, cool.
He was born 95?
Yes.
For some reason, I thought he was born like 2005.
In the Academy Awards, by the way, and the 68th Academy Awards back in 1995 for the night. Well, they were in 96 for the 95 movies.
Right.
It's a little confusing. Best actor was Nicolas Cage in Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Best actress was Susan Sarandon in Dead Man Walking.
Yeah.
Best director was Mel Gibson in Braveheart. And best picture was Braveheart.
Okay.
And the top 5 highest grossing movies in 1995 were number 5, Pocahontas, number 4, Goldeneye, number 3, Apollo 13, number 2, Toy Story. Do you guys know what the number 1 is? Die Hard with a Vengeance.
What? No, it was not.
How is that the number 1 highest grossing movie
Because
of
you
1995?
always look at the international.
True.
And it did gangbusters overseas.
Yeah.
If you did just the domestic, Toy Story was number 1.
Don't get me wrong, by the way.
Okay.
I actually do like Die Hard with a Vengeance, but when I saw it was the highest grossing over Toy
That's
Story and
shocking.
Apollo 13
Yeah.
and GoldenEye, I was like, excuse me, what?
Weird.
What movie?
That was
the
Die
last
Hard
one
with
you
a
said?
Vengeance. GoldenEye?
Try again. No.
Yeah.
No, you don't do it. You do the Skyfall, but you don't do GoldenEye.
That's you.
Come on.
I do
You gotta do it.
Skyfall. You do
gotta do it.
Guys, quit fighting over James Bond.
Save for James Bond. So, as we did before, a couple episodes ago, we have a series of categories here. We're going to be talking about certain movies that are from 1995. And I thought, like, when we did 85, I was like, oh man, those are so many favorites. 95 is going to be a breeze. And then I started doing it, and it was very hard to like narrow it down. I have so many honorable
Well,
mentions.
it's a mixed bag because you look at the calendar and I was like, for half the year, I don't really like anything. Oh no.
Yes.
It's for me because I'm a big director fan. This is when a lot of directors got their starts. And I'm like, wow, these are amazing directors, the auteurs even, that really made a splash. And maybe with some of their best movies ever made.
Yeah, like that's the thing is you watch some of these and it's like this person was kind of no one knew who they were.
Yeah.
And they made the movie in 95 and all of a sudden it's like, boom, they are
Yeah.
a celebrity now. I also kind of regret the fact that we don't have like a worst ever movie category because one of my worst hated movies ever was made in 95. There you go.
Oh, which is.
I know what it is. Can I say it?
Sure.
Friday.
No.
Oh.
Was that 95?
Yes, it
I hated that
was.
too. I know.
Hold on. Waterworld.
Oh,
No.
Indian in the Cupboard.
Stop.
Hey.
It was Now and Then.
Oh, yeah. Now and then.
I hate the movie Now and Then.
Yeah.
It's not for me. But so let's just jump through these categories now. And Zach, why don't you start us off and explain what the first category is and why we do it that way?
So the first category is a little bit of a cheat, but
Kind of.
yeah.
No,
so
it's so that we don't have to reuse it again and again.
our first category is the Mount Rushmore of 1995. Usually we would save this for the end, but we want to kind of get the big hitters out of the way.
Yeah.
On Baconsale, we tend to talk about a lot of the movies again and again because they're big movies in our formative years. So we're like, oh yes, we will talk about this one over and over, and they could have been the answer for every one of these.
Yeah.
But once again, we were
we
like,
can only use every answer once.
let's put them on here on our personal Mount Rushmore, the one we're building in our backyard.
Let's start with Joel.
So my personal Mount Rushmore of movies from 1995 is going to be Braveheart,
Okay.
of course, Clueless, Goldeneye,
Wow.
and Toy Story.
Wow.
There should be no surprises there. Those
I
are
mean,
like
there,
the 4
there
heaviest
aren't,
hitters.
but I felt like you could have added so many more to that list.
I know I could have added so many more. There's actually, I have an honorable mention here that I'm just like,
Yeah, save it because it's
hoping
gonna
one of
come
you
up in
do.
the show.
Hoping one of you pick it.
Okay, mine is very Kentish. Braveheart, obviously.
Okay.
7.
Wow.
Or
What are you putting on the mountain, Kent?
It's a 7. Oh, you don't want to know. It is actually 7 sins. So
Yeah.
Heat is on there as well.
Wow.
Because Val Kilmer's beautiful blonde hair in that movie. It's-
Beautiful Blonde in another movie, 95 too.
yeah. And Before Sunrise.
Oh my god.
I knew it.
How are you
Knew
guys
it.
surprised by this at all?
I just, when I thought of personal Mount Rushmore, I thought you were going to pick, better movies.
These are the best movies of the year, Joel.
But it's a very kid. No,
literally, Before Sunrise will hold up forever.
they're literally not the best movies of the year because they literally didn't make the box office or the Academy Awards.
Oh, that's fine. I don't go by what everyone else says. I go by my own opinion. Mm-hmm. That's weird.
Actually-
It's weird how you prefer your own opinion.
That is. But I'm surprised with the fact that you didn't go bigger. Not bad. I didn't mean better. I
for
take
me,
that back.
No,
I
you're
take
good.
that back.
For me, it's like Braveheart's the obvious one because
Yes.
it's the one we still remember. But I'm like, what do I truly love from that year? And Before Sunrise, and then what do I keep thinking about? 7. And what movie have I loved lately? Heat.
Wow.
I know. All right.
He was the one that really surprised me, I think.
Yeah.
But all right.
Is it
Zach.
because it's maybe overrated a little bit, but it's also great? Okay.
I was going to put Heat.
Yeah.
I
got
really
you.
was. And then I didn't. But
Yeah.
I could have.
Yeah.
Anyway, mine are, mind you, I was 5 years old.
I just thought about what I'm putting on the Mount Rushmore, and I just cut your joke.
What?
It's the box. What's in the box? Okay, go on.
A Goofy movie.
Okay. That seems very Zach.
I was a child.
Yes. Yes.
Clueless.
Yep. Okay.
Oh,
we
cute.
match up there.
Because 1995.
So
Yeah.
I've matched up with you and I've matched up with you.
Yeah.
Clueless, I want to talk about these movies more. Clueless is like a time capsule movie.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely it
amazing.
is.
It's like, it's not my favorite or most amazing, but again, if I want to look at what 1995 is in my brain,
Yeah.
it's Clueless.
Right.
Apollo 13.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was my honorable mention I
It
could put
had
on
to
there.
be mentioned.
Because Apollo 13.
It's so fantastic.
And then, let's see, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. What else? What? What?
A lot of other movies
What
came out.
could I put? Zachary Western
there a baseball
put
movie?
on
No,
the
it's
1990? It's GoldenEye.
Oh,
I love GoldenEye.
that's right. I figured the James Bond was going to be picked. So Zach, you and I matched more than Kent
Yeah,
and
it was
I.
actually
Yeah.
shots.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I almost put Heat.
Did we didn't have any singular match across the Mount Rushmores?
No, Zach did not choose Braveheart.
Because
and I
last-
did not choose Clueless.
Right. So that's the thing is because last time in the 85, we matched on almost
lot.
every
Yeah.
single thing.
And I was going to say, I think there's a reason behind that. I think when I was looking at the list of 1985 movies, there was the obvious top tier.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know that 1995 reaches the heights of those 1985 movies.
There were some bangers.
I just think that there's a lot of tier ones. You know,
I just think, we had a lot more family fare in the 80s. Really, like, entertains everyone. This one is like, hey, you like rated R dramas? Because we got them all.
do you like rated R dramas? Do you like really good G and PG family movies?
Sure.
Or do you like kind of dumb PG-13 comedies?
yeah.
Okay.
Like that's kind of
That's
95,
fair.
right?
That's
So it's
fair.
like
Right.
segmented.
It's
more
quotable
So.
comedies.
Yeah, that's a good.
We'll
way
But
to put it.
seriously,
there.
like looking at my Mount Rushmore, and you guys probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
I could watch any of these movies at any time and be happy.
Yeah.
If I'm watching Braveheart, Clueless, GoldenEye, or Toy Story, I'm like, yep, I'm having a good time right now.
I'm not happy when I'm watching Seven, but I feel other things.
It's definitely a movie that I'm just like, I can watch that maybe once every 10 years.
Just so well made.
It's
Okay.
very well made.
We'll have a chance to talk more about it.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Perfect.
thank you for picking Apollo
Yeah.
13 because that went back
Yeah.
and forth. on
Apollo
Mount Rushmore.
13 was. I also put it in the Mount Rushmore because of our categories, it didn't have a real clear.
Yeah, it
space on
doesn't
mine,
actually show up in my categories, and I'm so glad you mentioned
But it is amazing movie.
Yeah.
A weird edge of your seat thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost a thriller.
Yeah, it's in
in
the whole
ways.
based on a true story thing. You just realize how much these early astronauts kind of went through. But yeah, I do want to say if you out there, listener, decide to watch a movie from 1995, I'm saying any of the ones we've just mentioned for our Mount Rushmores,
Except for
probably a good pick.
Except for he didn't like the Richard Linklater one.
It's great.
Before Sunrise,
Love it.
I like what it does. I
Yeah.
like its attempt. I like I respect it.
That's cute.
I still haven't seen it. I'm sorry, Kent.
It's okay.
We're friends. Okay, our first category is better left in the past. So what's the thought behind
All
this
right,
one?
I am going to explain exactly where I went with
Yeah.
this reasoning.
Okay.
And the synopsis is the sole survivor of a peer shootout tells the story of how a notorious criminal influenced the events that began with 5 criminals meeting in a seemingly random police lineup.
Oh, okay.
The movie is The Usual Suspects. Here's the thing.
What year did that come out?
Yeah, right. This was almost in my Mount Rushmore because this is one of those movies where it was pre-Austin Powers, but I saw after Austin Powers, but I went, hey, movies can be really clever and surprise me. And this one came out of nowhere for, I think, everyone. This is amazing acting. It's a really well-paced story. It is reliant on a twist, and so it's maybe a 2-time watch at most.
What I was going to ask, Kent, is I feel like modern day viewers are a little more savvy in that regard because there have been so many twisty movies. Since then.
Definitely.
Would they be able to watch this and not figure out what's going on? I'm not going to spoil it.
They would figure it out.
You think
I've
so?
never seen it,
Yeah.
Except for a lot of these people.
but pop culture has spoiled it.
A lot of these people are prominent actors, and so maybe they wouldn't see the red herrings or notice them. But the reason this is better left in the past is it stars Kevin Spacey, and it's directed by Bryan Singer.
Oh,
This is
What a
This is
combo.
what they call problematic. This is one that I'm like, hey, if you don't know anything about these guys, this is an amazing film. Can I watch it now? Nope.
But I think you can. There's a separation there where you can respect.
of course,
the art
it's acting,
without
right?
Condoning the artist.
Yeah. But it is one that I do think is brilliant. But it's hard for me to watch Kevin Spacey at this point.
Yeah.
Almost in anything.
But I get it.
And Bryan
'Cause
Singer.
This is definitely one of those movies where I watched it and did have my little mind blown of just like,
Yeah.
what?
And I say two-time watch because once you see the twist and you watch this again with like a new crowd, you're like, oh, I see that. They set that up there. But then that's probably it.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, what about you? Better Left in the Past.
It's a good ensemble cast.
Yeah,
too.
great.
So Better Left in the Past, mind you, I was a child.
Yes.
Okay.
We babe.
So this to me, I mean, there's another category about childhood favorite, but this is one where I go, I loved this at the time, and I will never watch it again. But I still think back fondly on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Right? I'm a big Power Ranger or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan. I had a blast watching this show when I was a kid.
I don't think I've ever seen this one, Zach.
Don't. Just don't.
It's a better budget.
So here's the thing: the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV show, as we know, it was repurposed Japanese footage, and the suits specifically were just like spandex with a helmet.
Yeah.
And so what they did for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Oh, I didn't do the synopsis thing.
Oh,
it was
okay.
more of a lead up. A giant egg is unearthed at a construction site and soon opened, releasing the terrible Ivan Ooze.
Ivan Ooze, okay.
Rick's vengeance on Zordon for
Ooze.
imprisoning him millennia ago. Zordon's a person in the movie. It's really weird. Zordon dies.
Oh, I know that guy.
Okay. So what's so great about this movie is it's the Americans doing Power Rangers.
Yeah.
It is an all-American production. And what do they first do? They're like, hey, those spandex suits? Nah, man. Leather panels. We're gonna have basically colorful biker
They
jackets. on these
changed
guys.
the outfit?
Oh,
a little bit.
Substantially.
Yeah. And in this movie, because it's American, they have a rollerblading montage.
It opens with a skydiving scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much more like metal.
Listen,
you know?
I saw this one at a drive-in.
Yeah.
And I still remember loving it.
Okay, because it also gets fun because they basically lose their powers and have to go on a journey through the Amazon.
And they get animal
as
powers.
Ninjas.
Yeah.
It's
Was it the same actors that were in the
No,
TV show?
two of them I think were different. Jason wasn't part of the movie.
No.
Contract issues.
yeah, but
And I think Trini, was she part of it? Anyways.
but David Yost was in it, Blue Ranger. Kimmy or Amy Jo Johnson was in it.
Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
So you're saying I shouldn't watch it?
I don't. I
Joel,
can't
watch it. But just know that you should watch it with
Do I need
child
context of the
size.
TV show before? I know the basics of the TV show.
No,
I've
that
seen a
they
handful of
exist.
episodes.
They
Okay.
they were chosen. They have powers. Whatever.
Okay.
Zordon is the one who is kind of
Yeah.
the leader, right?
Bryan Cranston.
No.
Nope.
When did they go to Krispy Kreme?
So I'm going to leave this in the past because I frankly have such strong positive feelings about
It's a
it.
great
and I
choice.
don't want those to get stepped on. In my mind, Ivan Ooze is the greatest villain in film. Like, because he was just so cool and scary. And he also convinced all of the parents to buy all this ooze. And it's fun, but we've talked about
Slime
it
before it was cool.
way too
Yeah.
long. I love it, but don't watch it. Joel.
Better Left in the Past. For me, here's the synopsis. You're never going to guess what it is.
All right.
Teenage hackers discover a criminal conspiracy with plans to use a computer virus that will capsize 5 oil tankers.
Yep.
That's right. I'm choosing Hackers, starring Johnny Lee Miller, Angelina Jolie, Matthew Lillard,
Yeah.
Fisher Stevens, and just directed by Ian Softly, who did K-Pax and The Skeleton Key. So you know it's going to be good.
Isn't there a rollerblading scene in this one too?
Fun fact: the cast spent 3 weeks getting to know each other and learning how to type and rollerblade.
Oh my goodness.
This was one of those movies.
I'm in.
And I don't know if you guys did this as kids. We did it all the time where you watch a movie with your friends. You're like, I call that guy. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
And so we were all
My
different
kids do that all the
characters.
time.
You were Angelina Jolie.
No, I was not Acid Burn.
You know her name.
I was Zero Cool / Crash
Wow.
Override. Katie was Acid Burn.
Oh.
And Justin was Serial Killer. But as we watched it, I love the vision of the internet in the 90s of what it could be in like some fantasy world.
Well, this is also the same year as another internet movie.
Yeah.
That may come up.
But as I watched this one, I haven't seen it for years.
Yeah.
Probably not since the 90s. But I watched it many times in the 90s. I watched the trailer, just the trailer today. And I was like, oh my gosh, this looks so bad. It looks so bad. By the way, shortly after the filming of this movie, Angelina Jolie and Johnny Lee Miller were married.
What?
And they divorced like
That lasted, right? Yeah.
About a year. So yeah, The Hackers is one of those movies that you see this trope all the time of like, oh, we're hacking and they're just smashing on a keyboard like crazy people.
Yeah,
They're like,
but they were just
hack
typing
harder.
ASL on
Yeah.
Yahoo chat.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoa, that's gross.
What?
You were one of those chat room guys, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, an honorable mention, by the way.
Did you ever tell the truth?
No.
No.
I know.
Honorable mention, by the way, to Dracula, Dead and Loving It. We talked about it before. I think there were parts I laughed at.
Do you
but
like that movie?
I did.
Yeah.
And I watched the one clip I really enjoyed of it again, and I laughed again, but I don't think the rest of the movie's going to be that good. So yeah, don't watch Hackers or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or, what'd you say?
Oh, Usual Suspects.
That's it.
Watch that one.
That's a good one.
Is it weird that I think mine is actually the best?
Yeah,
Out of those three?
You have the most fun with mine. No question.
I don't know. Hackers, man.
There is a certain something to
that
Hackers.
subculture of Hackers really took off, didn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I don't want to get hacked, so I just want to say I respect all hackers.
Hackers and the Net, same year.
Yeah.
I respect Acid Burn.
No, you don't.
Our next category is childhood favorites.
So
or
similar-ish.
nostalgia goggles. Similar, but
In the sense of, so like best love best, like I don't want to watch it
same,
again because I
but
know it's going to be bad, but childhood favorites more like I still love it.
Yeah.
I know it's bad, but I still love it.
Right.
like you would watch it.
Yeah.
You still have a warm
like it,
feeling
but
for it.
you know it's not
Knowing
good, but
that
you
you
have the
loved it
goggles
then.
on.
Good.
Yeah.
Are we aligned there? I'll go first on this one.
Yeah.
This is one that I loved as a kid. I still think fondly of, and I would still be happy to watch. In fact, when putting this list together, I had a good conversation with my 10-year-old who loves this movie as well.
All right.
When two kids find and play a magical board game, they release a man trapped in it for decades and a host of dangers that can only be stopped by finishing the game. It's Jumanji.
There's nothing bad about this movie.
Directed by Joe Johnston.
No, but I get what Zach is talking about because I have it on honorable mention here. The CGI is terrible.
The CGI is really the big thing that ages the movie.
Here's what I want to know. Since your 10-year-old watches it, is the extraness of Robin Williams, is it cringe?
No.
Because we loved it. We grew up with it.
Yeah.
Is it too much?
No, because he's like...
Is he the precursor to Jack
He's
Black?
watching Steve in Minecraft.
Okay.
And he's
Yeah.
cool with it. So, no, I think that this movie is fun. And it's fun for kids. It's fun to watch. And I mean, when you're a kid, you don't necessarily notice that the monkey's faces are horrifying.
So bad.
They're the worst part. Like the rhino that goes along, like slowly. Like that still looks pretty good.
But there are some legitimately terrifying parts for kids in this movie.
Factually. And my wife actually checked in. She was like, hey, were you okay watching that movie? Your little sister certainly couldn't, but he's like, no, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
So I think there is something to that movie that is completely magical that, you'll end up glossing over the terrible, of the time CGI.
Yeah.
I think it did a
it's
good
still
job.
good.
You're going to see
of the
CGI.
time.
CGI is going to be a recurring theme in a lot of these things. So they were like, oh, we can do this. Let's do it. Some did it better than others.
But
I will also defend any movie that Bonnie hunts in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Almost any movie Bonnie
Has
hunts
she
in.
ever aged?
I don't think
Is she in Jumanji? Where have you been, Bonnie Hunt?
What? No, Jumanji. It's pretty great.
It's
right?
great.
Let's go. Joel, what do you got?
So I did have Jumanji as an honorable mention there because same reason. I think it's one of those that I grew up loving. In fact, I do like the newer one, the Welcome to the Jungle one.
Yeah.
I think it's
the first one.
I thought it was a very fun addition.
I didn't see the second
Definitely
one.
different vibe than the first movie. And so
Yeah.
I want my kids to love the original just as much as they love Welcome to the Jungle.
Perfect.
But for my childhood favorite / nostalgia goggles, I'm going to read the synopsis. 3 martial artists are forced to battle demonic adversaries in another dimension with the fate of the world hanging in the balance. This is directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who directed Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Punch Drunk Love.
Stop it. It's not. That Paul.
Oh, sorry. Paul W.S. Anderson directed Event Horizon, Resident Evil, and Alien vs. Predator.
I'm just back on you yelling Mortal Kombat, which is always this aggressive yelling, and you were like, Mickey Mouse.
He does this like high pitch. He does this high pitched kind of yell, and I can't ever replicate it. So I do kind of the knockoff version.
Flawless victory.
Mortal Kombat.
Just before
It's a Southern Mickey.
Finish him.
while we're on the topic of the music and whatnot, I absolutely love it at Los Angeles Dodgers games, at home games on the organ. The guy plays.
Oh, so good.
I'm like, Mortal Kombat on an organ? This is great.
Do. So this came out in 95. I should clarify. The original 1992 game came out in 92. Mortal Kombat 2 came out in 93. And then they said, okay, let's finally make a movie about this.
Joel, can I jump in your brain real quick?
Please.
The year before, we had Street Fighter, the movie. And weren't you so
Raul
disappointed?
Julia?
Jean-Claude Van Damme was actually approached to play Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat because that's who the character
who's
was based on.
based on, yeah.
But he said, no, can't. I'm doing this other movie, Street Fighter.
That's a good impression.
Like, I'm doing other movie, Street Fighter.
But we were so disappointed by Street
Tommy
Fighter
Wiseau?
and its quality.
Yeah.
And then when Mortal Kombat came out, you went, you know what? I think these video game movies could take off.
Well, in Mortal Kombat, I remember. So, if you don't know the story behind Mortal Kombat, it was a very violent video game of the time, like 90s, very early graphics, blood kind of stuff happening. And parents were very opposed to it. And I remember specifically, we were going to go see Mortal Kombat because it was PG-13. And we're like, we can totally go see this. It's going to be awesome. And I remember one of my friends had to back out. Daniel had to back out. And I said, why? And he said, because my mom doesn't want me to go see it. And I said, she doesn't? Well, he says, well, she says, I trust you'll make the right decision.
Oh, that works every time.
So we decided not to go. So, but then we went and saw it. And I remember thinking, this isn't bloody at all. At all.
No, it's actually one of the problems.
It has weird puppetry with Goro.
Yes.
Oh, Goro.
Goro kept breaking down.
The lizard CG was really
strange. They had no idea what that creature's going to look like when they filmed the scene.
But the fights between Sub-Zero and Scorpion were great.
No, there's some fantastic fights. In fact, watching it now, I watch it with my boys.
Yeah.
And we had a great time watching it. And I was like, here's another cool fight. Here's another cool fight. Because the choreography is spectacular.
Yeah.
But it is a lesser acted, lesser produced, kind of corny movie.
Lesser. It's
But
all
yeah,
lesser.
I still love it.
It was, for about 30 years, the best video game movie of all time.
Yeah, it was like holding
low
this
bar
like
to
came out
climb.
basically. But I do feel like I found out Cameron Diaz was going to play Sonya Blade, but she got a wrist injury and dropped out.
Okay.
And then Bridget Wilson, she was in another movie
from Billy Madison.
Billy Madison. She was actually filming that right after this, so she had to rush out of filming this and going to that. But I also feel like they didn't know what they were doing because Paul Anderson was not a well-known, he was an unknown director. He did one movie and they got him. He had no experience with visual effects or anything like fight scenes. Action was not his thing.
This movie's
But they
making
chose
way
him,
more sense.
And he kind of bluffed his way through it is what they were saying. And the actors were ad-libbing
for teens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was. I got to the end and I was like, that was kind of dumb, but at the same time, I love it. So Mortal Kombat. Or as I say, Mortal Kombat.
Muscatools. So here's the thing. Great choices, both of you, because those were my first two picks.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm ready with a third because I said if they choose this one or this one, I'm going to do this one.
Nice.
An afterlife therapist and his daughter meet a friendly young ghost.
That's my honorable mention.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know which Casper
Moving
too.
to it's Casper.
I love Casper.
Just Casper. It's not Casper the Friendly Ghost, but this stars Bill Pullman and Christina Ricci and the voice of Devon Sawa. And it's kind of Devon Sawa.
Hold on. Is he actually the voice?
Yeah.
No,
Casper?
I think he's live action. I think they did a bit different person with the real voice.
Did he?
I think so.
There's no way of knowing.
Let me look.
I mean, that beautiful butt cut of his. I mean, that thing was golden.
All the ladies loved Devon Sawa back in the day.
Your wife did.
Yeah, she did.
For sure she did.
But here's the thing.
Yes,
Here's what's-
Malachi Pearson was the voice of
that's
Casper.
Sorry, Malachi.
Devon Sawa was the Casper. And
Here's what's great about being young and watching Casper. Your two options are Devon Sawa and Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
You're good.
So after seeing Addams Family Values, I said, I think I love her and I'm going to marry her one day. And so when I saw her play like a normal kid in Casper, I'm like, yep, it's confirmed. Like she's a tortured soul and just like the girl next door.
How'd that end up, by the way?
Okay. It's not over. It's not over, Christina.
She's peak 90s, young girl.
I loved her.
And she was the Elizabeth Shue of the 90s.
Well, Elizabeth Shue was the Elizabeth Shue of the 90s.
Elizabeth Shue was the Elizabeth Shue of the 80s.
Still. Yeah, okay.
Karate
but
Kid,
I
Adventures
think
Babysitting.
The CG for me works here.
Because it has absolutely held up.
Translucent CG, and it's a hijinks movie. Obviously, the cousins come in, and it's it's a lot.
Eric Idle.
Yeah,
as the bumbling henchman type character.
But I feel like this movie's still okay. I had my girls watch it, and they liked it too.
Now, here's the funny thing too: is the movie was fine.
Yeah,
I had it as an honorable mention, but I played the video game a lot. Like the one for...
Do you play as Casper or as a kid?
Yeah, you're Casper and you're going from room to room and solving mysteries. Was it PlayStation? It might have been PlayStation.
Okay.
It was a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
And that's why my nostalgia is so strong for this movie, because of that video game. Kind of odd.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 great picks, everyone.
Well, good job,
Huzzah.
us.
For nostalgia.
Let's move on to the next one, which is favorite soundtrack song. Joel?
So once again, last time I did this thing where I chose a song I love from a movie I don't. And I'm doing the same thing this time.
Okay.
Because I am choosing this song, and I'll see if you can guess the movie.
I know it.
Is this Green Day?
This is Green Day. This is J.A.R. by Green Day.
I raise my hand. Can I raise my hand?
You can raise your hand. You know the movie, Kent.
Angus.
Angus is correct. So Angus is a 1995 movie. Here's the synopsis. A miserable fat teenager secretly has a crush on the class beauty, ends up becoming the surprise... This is a terrible synopsis.
Yeah.
Surprising participant to dance with her at a high school dance, meaning he's got to get his act together with the help of his best friend. Whew. This stars Charlie Talbert.
Sure.
Who's the main guy. You don't really see him in anything else. James Vanderbeek, his first film role. And then also you get Kathy Bates and George C. Scott, which I was like, what?
Like
And then,
Scrooge?
Yes.
And McLeach?
yes. And yes. Although Kathy Bates didn't play McLeach. That was
Kathy Bates' McLeach would be great.
Scrooge
She would be.
McLeach coming to CBS this fall.
But also it stars
Joanna.
Ariana Richards, which if you don't know that name, you know her as Lex from Jurassic Park. She's the young girl in Jurassic
okay,
Park, the hacker.
So many hackers in 95.
System.
I'm in.
But no, this movie came out, and I thought, I don't like this movie. I really don't like this movie.
I've never
I
heard
thought
of
it was
The
terrible.
soundtrack is very good. Though.
Not
But
fun.
that's just it. So the soundtrack, you get things like J.A.R. by Green Day, Jack Names the Planets by Ash, Enough by Dancehall Crashers, Kung Fu by Ash, Mrs. You and Me by Smoking Popes, You Gave Your Love to Me Softly by
yeah.
Weezer, Ain't That Unusual by Goo Goo Dolls. Like, this is a prime soundtrack.
If only
for a
the movie was good.
That does not deserve
No.
it. And it really is.
Were any of these songs in the movie?
Yes.
I mean, this is the 90s. I don't know why these songs are here.
No, and I don't
Any
know.
soundtrack.
I don't know how they got such big names on their soundtrack at the time, but other than they probably had some sort of connection. But because this movie plays like a Canadian student film.
Yeah.
But it really is like just corny and cheesy and crude and just not good. But then I still own the soundtrack and I listen to it on the regular and I love so many tracks on there. So if you're going to listen to if you're going to do anything with Angus, listen to the soundtrack. Don't watch the movie because the movie's bleh.
Kent?
There are 37 choices because the soundtracks this year are quite good.
In
Joel,
95.
I'm sad you didn't choose Clueless, but I guess you had that for your Mount
That's my
Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. I can't touch it
So
again.
I went with the very obvious choice.
Did you?
Weird Al didn't come out with this till 2 years later, Ken.
Yeah, it's almost like it's weird because he came up with the original.
And then Coolio copied it.
That's really strange. So
that guy.
I went with the obvious one. It
I
is
harvest my grain.
Dangerous Minds. I don't think I've ever seen in my entire life, but it's so good. So in Dangerous Minds,
The song.
Now I got to think if I've seen it.
Luann, a retired U.S. Marine, becomes a teacher in a California high school, but her mostly Latino and black students from an impoverished and racially segregated locality do not easily embrace her. This is Michelle Pfeiffer, and
I remember the trailer. Someone gets thrown against the locker and she like flinches. And
Yeah.
it's a big dramatic moment.
it's funny because there is like Antoine Fuqua directs the music video, and he's a great director, and some random guy is directing the movie. And so the video was huge on the box.
The
Zach.
box.
Yeah, it was
the box.
huge.
in the box.
The box. What's in the box?
This is sung by Coolio, and it uses elements from Stevie Wonder's Pastime Paradise. And this was the top-selling single of 1995. Even got Coolio a Grammy. And I think it taught us all a little bit about the Bible. Don't you think?
What?
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's not much left.
Those aren't the lyrics.
No, it is. that's the Bible verse. Anyways, this song oozes cool. And Zach, I hope you have another one because there are so many good choices this year.
There are so many good choices this year. I didn't pick one of them.
Oh.
I picked one that I just want to talk about on Baconsale.
Okay.
And it's a movie that I like. So I don't know what. A movie that you don't like, a movie
Movie I
that
haven't
you
seen?
haven't seen.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Guys.
Kiss from the rose on my brain. I don't know. I can't remember what it
That so sultry, Joel? Wait, hold on. Seal over you two, hold me, thrill me, kiss me, kill me, huh?
It was...
You can do the entire Batman Forever soundtrack.
This is what I ultimately wanted to bring up. And when if we're still doing this in 2 years,
Yeah.
we were on Batman and Robin. I'll mention it then. Why do the Joel Schumacher Batman movies have so much sauce? Why are the soundtracks so
The
good?
soundtracks are
The
amazing.
movies have sauce?
Now, look back, yes, absolutely. Marvel wishes they could be Joel Schumacher Batman
true
movies.
story. But those soundtracks,
The
are
soundtracks
impeccable.
are so good.
I own Batman Forever and I own Batman.
I listened to Batman Forever on the way up to Baconsale. I was just so happy.
Yeah.
You have the one PJ Harvey song.
Yeah.
Nobody lives without love.
Yeah. And then,
So good.
And then of course the U2 song is great.
Hold me through, we kiss and kill.
This one was mostly because it's fun.
It's,
yes.
it is,
it
is
blew up.
ironic love for Kiss from
Yes.
a Rose by Seal. But in the movie, Batman Forever, it's a Batman movie. The Batman must battle former District Attorney Harvey Dent, who is now Two-Face, and Edward Nygma, the Riddler, with the help of an amorous psychologist and young circus acrobat who
Dr.
becomes his
Meridian.
sidekick. I
know.
This almost made my Mount Rushmore, guys.
I like
'Cause
Batman
I watched
Forever.
Batman Forever so much.
I think that we've circled around to it being good. Like, I think it's because it's fun, it's ridiculous, and
Release the Schumacher cut.
it's got sauce.
It actually does exist. Yeah,
or Zack?
Warner Brothers shut it down.
I'd watch that.
I do. I was
Shocker.
going to say I'm kind of sad that you used Goofy Movie in your Mount
Yes.
Rushmore because having Powerline as the favorite soundtrack
Perfect.
song. I love that.
We did kind of talk about them
Yeah, we
recently.
We did.
And
They were in Kent's concert, and that's why he got so many people.
exactly. So that's why I didn't, but it would be a great choice, eye to eye.
Yes.
But yeah, for some reason, not I'll sing its praises, but ultimately not an amazing movie, not a movie that people look back all that fondly, but
It's got its
the
quirks.
dang soundtrack.
Yeah.
So good.
Rocks.
I still have the CD that has the soundtrack. And I bought it back in the day, and I have my movie ticket on the back. Like I put it. in the
I love that.
Also, I'll say it. Shout out to Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Nope.
Fantastic.
Just around the riverbend?
No.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Bring it back. I don't want to throw too much love towards that movie.
Not a Pocahontas.
But I'll tell you what, Colors of the Wind gets me emotional. Love that song.
All right. Well, speaking of getting emotional, guilty pleasures are up next. What is your guilty pleasure of 1995?
In a future where the polar ice caps have melted and Earth is almost entirely submerged,
Oh,
a
no.
mutated marine fights starvation and outlaws smokers and reluctantly helps a woman and a young girl try to find dry land because it's not a myth.
land is not a myth.
My guilty pleasure, you guys already know this, with your groans, which is why it's a guilty pleasure, is Waterworld.
That's my honorable mention, Kent.
Let me give you a little history of myself in Waterworld. This was my Zack Snyder before I knew who Zack Snyder was.
Who directed Waterworld?
A lot of people.
Oh.
It's officially Kevin Reynolds,
Okay.
but it was such a
Kevin Reynolds did
tumultuous.
some good stuff, right?
He did Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
It was so bad, and he was treated so poorly that he /quit or got fired a month before he was done. And so they had Kevin Costner kind of finish it.
Okay.
So I saw this one opening weekend, and I knew it wasn't very good, but I went, hey, it feels like an older, like adult movie, right? It feels like cool. And I saw a cool movie, and then I saw that it was failing financially. I was 14. I shouldn't have cared about box office, but I'm like, that movie deserves more money. I didn't know anything about Mad Max at the time. I'd probably seen Road Warrior, but I was like, it felt cool, kind of like Mad Max on jet skis.
Yeah.
Right? And Dennis
how'd they get
Hopper
the
was
gas, Ken?
chewing the scenery.
How'd they get all that gas?
How did they get the gas?
They have an oil tanker, but then my brain was like, that's oil. That's not gas.
Yeah.
I don't know how they processed it.
This did cost $200 million to make, which back then was crazy money.
That's why it got so much bad press.
Yeah.
It's because it was the
most expensive movie at the time.
the budget was ballooning.
Yeah.
And people were like, that's what 200 million got
Well,
us?
and Kevin Costner, he was such like a prima donna for this movie. It's ridiculous. It made $264 million worldwide, so it was critical and financial disappointment. But I kind of thought it was cool.
And yet one of the most successful Universal Studios shows in history.
how is it still going on?
Don't know.
Not knowing anything behind it and just like catching it on TNT one day, I'm like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize it kind of was this infamous thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but did you guys every time you went in the swimming pool, did you try to do the little like lip, like you had webbed hand and toes?
Yeah.
I remember seeing this one at a drive-in, actually. I
Yeah.
don't know why. That's like cemented in my brain of when I saw it, but I remember watching it and being like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool, and I still do. Zach, what do you have?
I have a movie. I basically thought I don't want to talk about it on Baconsale, which means I had
That's
to pick
a guilty
it.
pleasure.
Had to pick it. Trying to find a secret white bat in Africa leads to increasingly absurd and chaotic antics for the pet detective. It's Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
This is a horrible movie.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Why did
But you like it.
I was young.
Was this now?
I
Zach,
was young.
You have an infamous history on Baconsale where you tend to watch the sequels before you watch the original.
I like this one way better than the first one.
That's what I was.
The first one is
That's what I was worried about.
football, Zach.
I know. Dan Marino. Lace it
Yeah.
out. I get it. But there's no slinky scene going down giant steps at a temple. No. I laughed a whole bunch. And there was a whole bunch that went over my head as a young child.
Yeah, it's a little.
Why was I
suggestive.
watching this movie? I don't know. But listen,
Because Jim Carrey. That's
Jim
why.
Carrey is just such a goofball.
Yeah, 95 was a big year for him. 94 and 95 are
Yeah.
really big
Yeah.
for Jim Carrey.
White Devil. And
Bumblebee Tuna.
Bumblebee Tuna and all of the all of the antics and the craziness, and the driving the Land Rover through the jungle.
Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang.
And
You love this movie, you guys.
the stuff of nightmares. Jim Carrey being born out of a rhino.
that is the standout theme of the entire movie.
Listen, I'm not proud, but
Can we
I've
stop
seen
talking about this
I've seen this
movie?
movie many times. Okay, I'm sorry.
Joel, what do you have?
Batman must battle former District Attorney Harvey Dent, who is now Two-Face and Edward Nigma. That's right, I'm choosing Batman Forever.
For your guilty pleasure.
My guilty pleasure is Batman Forever because
It's got sauce.
it is so childrenized. I don't know how to say it. Toyified.
Toyified.
Yeah, Toy Fight is
Because
perfect.
Joel Schumacher took the Batman franchise and decided. Now he did go back to like the Dick Sprang era of comic books, the golden era, 1960s TV series as well. He went a little lighter in tone,
And they made
found
Robin
out-
30.
They did, but I found out it's because of McDonald's. That McDonald's, they had the Batman Returns movie come out a couple years before, and they had a tie-in with the Happy
Merch
Meal
was
toys
great.
with Catwoman and Penguin, and then they had all this backlash about why on earth are you making this highly violent movie, they called it, into a children's thing.
Batman Returns is dark.
So they decided that they said the Warner Brothers says we got to pull back. So they decided to go much lighter and much more.
Those crystal cups from McDonald's, those crystal glasses were amazing.
Yeah.
Crystal.
The iconic toy that was the 3-in-1.
Yeah.
Did you ever see
The
that? Where it was
Batmobile?
the Batmobile, then it popped out and became the boat, then you put wings on and it was the jet. Amazing.
Yes. And Batman Forever, I had the poster on my wall. I had the hat with the cool, I love the look of it, the blue and green question mark with the bat symbol inside of it. And
Jim Carrey.
Every time I watch this movie, I'm like, yeah, I know this is campy. I know this is not one of the better Batman movies. I know that, Jim Carrey, fantastic as the Riddler. I will say he's fantastic as the Riddler. Not James Earl Jones. Wow.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Are they brothers?
Yeah, pretty much.
But Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face is horribly miscast.
Hated the entire experience.
He hated it, and he hated Jim Carrey. In fact, Jim Carrey said Tommy Lee Jones was not friendly to him, and said that one time Jones said to him, quote, "I hate you. I really don't like you. I cannot sanction your buffoonery."
I love it. That's so Tommy Lee Jones.
Yes. So
He's such a curmudgeon.
And apparently Val Kilmer and Schumacher did not get along.
Yeah.
Schumacher called Kilmer childish and impossible, and they refused to speak to him for weeks at a time.
He called him childish, and then he made this movie. Okay.
Yeah. Also, it's not just me. At the 68th Academy Awards, Batman Forever, this is Academy Awards, Batman Forever was nominated for cinematography, lost to Braveheart. Best sound, lost to Apollo 13. And best sound effects editing, lost to Braveheart.
What?
Batman Forever, Academy Award nominated. Batman Forever is my guilty pleasure.
No, but you guys don't understand. The vibes are immaculate in this movie.
riddle me that.
And the score?
Afraid of the big
Everyone gives so much credit to the Danny Elfman score.
Yeah.
But the completely new score in the Batman Forever,
It's good.
It's great.
It's great.
We've mentioned the soundtracks as well. Like,
Zach, this is your Mount Rushmore. We get it.
dude, I
was
also love
almost-
Batman and Robin, guys.
And
I do.
Who didn't
What?
want? This is one of the first times I wanted to be Robin.
Yeah.
Like my whole life growing up, I'm like, yeah, Batman and Robin. And this one, I was like, Robin's kind of cool, guys. Chris O'Donnell is kind of cool.
Also 37.
The way he
years
does laundry and flips around his ankle and then like wrings it out. It's awesome.
Holy rusted metal Batman.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite jokes.
That's really good.
old. So bad.
What? It's metal. It's rusted and has holes in it.
Full of hole. Yeah. Well, I think that we've all made fun of each other enough. I have an honorable mention too.
Go.
I guess while we're on this, dumb comedies. Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Is also.
Yeah.
I have an honorable mention as well. It Takes Two.
Oh,
The
that's
Olsen Twins
cute.
movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Next is our hipster pick.
Yes, one that may not be in the mainstream, one that may not be one everyone knows about, but
Or
was from
thinks about anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
It may have been. People don't talk about it anymore.
Zach?
Okay.
What's your hipster
Mine
pick?
has a lot of setup. I want to compare to modern actors right now. So think back to 1995 and make a comparison to the following actors. So who'd you compare them to today?
Okay.
Patrick Swayze. Who is Patrick Swayze of today?
Oh.
No one has the hair that great.
I know. He's strong, but he also dances. He moves. He's graceful.
I'm Hugh Jackman.
Sure. Hugh Jackman. We'll go with that. Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes is Wesley Snipes.
Who's the Wesley Snipes of today?
Who was going to play Blade?
Mahershala Ali.
I'll say him.
And John Leguizamo.
Oh, wasn't he right?
Are you doing two Wong Fu? Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
Oh,
3 drag queens from New York travel cross country
Wow.
to a pageant, but get stranded in a small town and help bring joy to the community. To Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
Which I don't know why this movie title has ingrained itself in my brain.
Yeah.
I've never seen the movie.
Oh, you haven't?
No, but I just...
It's
and
pretty humorous.
I keep seeing the ending of it. Like it was always like it was ending when another movie was starting that I
Yeah.
was recording. But that title, for some reason, is iconic.
Yeah.
Just imagine, though. That's why I make the modern comparison. Imagine that a Hugh Jackman or a Mahershala Ali or, whoever, that, like, you have these strong, powerful men, and they unironically go full send playing drag queens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I watched an interview with Patrick Swayze, who it was on the Today Show, and he said that he tried to do like the sassy, fun, outlandish thing, and he said it didn't work. It didn't make any sense. I had to be completely sincere. I had to stretch myself as an actor to make this work and make sense. It's so bizarre because it's a goofy movie.
Yeah.
No, goofy movies on your... Yeah.
Yes, it's a road trip movie where they end up broken down in a small town of regular people and curmudgeons and end up bringing joy to the community.
Yeah.
It's a bizarre show. My wife insisted on me discussing it. She's like, "There's no other way it's going to get talked about on Baconsale."
It's a hipster choice for
It's
sure.
a very hipster choice, but it did end up bringing in $47.8 million.
Wow.
Which is
And
a lot
it's-
for the
I
time. I
would
mean,
say
Jumanji made 100.
Cult classic.
Cult classic for sure. And again, Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, and John Leguizamo.
Wow.
Going full send.
Yeah, because they were not... That was not their type.
Now
back
we'd
then,
have
that-
we'd have
back
Kevin
then.
Hart in that movie.
Kevin Hart would be in that movie, and it would
Yeah.
not be good.
No. Blech.
All right. Joel, what do you got?
So for my hipster pick, I'm going to read the synopsis here, and I don't think you guys are going to know what the movie is based on that synopsis. A pastry boy and the son of a hairpiece mogul become involved in an arson scandal. Starring William Baldwin, John Leguizamo, Sadie
right.
Frost, and Erica Elenick. And this is a pyromaniac's love story.
Wow. You out hipstered us all.
I wanted to go like, how Zack like hipstered us twice on the last episode? I wanted to get one in here. I don't know, but a pyromaniac's love story. This came out, I keep wanting to say it came out in 1995. Of course it did, Joel. This is a quick, easy, breezy, cute little rom-com. Not many people have seen it, but it's quirky and it's a little bizarre, but it's funny. Like, I really do think this movie's funny. I do own it. And it's one of those movies that I like showing people, like, oh, this is kind of a fun little rom-com.
Yeah.
It didn't do great on IMDb. It's like a 5.3.
Okay.
And maybe people won't like it as much as I do, but I think the leads are enjoyable. I think it's almost got kind of a Coen Brothers or Wes Anderson level of dialogue going on, where it's this kind of, people don't talk exactly normal, but it's still a fun way of speaking.
Right.
And yet I think the story is very relatable, and it is. It's just this guy who has a crush on this girl he works with, and their pastry shop gets burned down.
Okay.
They're trying to figure out who did it.
But
So-
worth watching?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Like I said, it's 93 million. You're not going to regret watching it because it's short and it's easy to watch. So, a pyromaniac's love story, my hipster pick.
What do you got, Kent?
Both dumped by their girlfriends. Two best friends seek refuge in the local mall.
Mallrats?
Mallrats.
Whoa.
The reason I'm saying like this, everyone knows the cover of this movie, but has everyone seen Mallrats? This is Kevin Smith, directed and written by Kevin Smith. This was his heyday.
They know it by reputation.
Yeah. This was post Clerks. Clerks is the one that kind of made him hit big.
Yeah.
At least in the movie scene. Mallrats was like his crass comedy, his crass slacker teen comedy.
Yeah.
This stars Jason Lee, Jeremy London, Shannon Doherty, really Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
They're just kind of just Kevin Smith people.
And a schooner.
Yeah, definitely. It's a schooner.
Yeah.
Which I still can't see Magic Eye pictures.
schooner
just letting
is
you
a
know.
boat.
I saw this one post 1997, 98 because this is very rated R. But I loved it. This became kind of like my cup of tea for comedies. I can't watch it anymore.
Why not?
I don't really like Kevin Smith humor anymore.
I get it.
I loved the dialogue back then. I thought it was so clever, and because this one references superheroes and their powers so much, Stan Lee makes an appearance. I'm like, this one is made for me. And I hate to say it because it might make sense. I patterned myself after Jason Lee my entire late teens. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I just loved him. I thought he was super funny.
He is super funny.
Yeah, he is. And he continued to be. But yeah.
Maybe not as much as this role, but he has some good lines in this.
For some reason, I think in this one he is so funny. I mean, because I won't watch it again. Honorable mentions: this is going to sound weird because it stars Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis, but 12 Monkeys. I don't think people talk about that one enough.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great
Is it a time travel movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a dystopian
fun.
Terry Gilliam movie. It almost made my Mount Rushmore, which is not surprising.
No.
I think the end is kind of shocking. The City of Lost Children by the director of Amelie is like French and weird. It's
haven't
very,
seen
very
that
hipster.
one.
It's dark and good.
City of Lost Children?
Yeah. Muriel's Wedding and Don Juan DeMarco. Very
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm like, should I have picked House Guest?
With Sinbad.
With Sinbad
In the
and
mailbox.
Phil Hartman?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen the...
Oh, yeah.
I watched that a lot.
Sinbad and Phil Hartman. Isn't that the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jingle All the Way?
Yeah, for sure. Because they had such great chemistry.
They love working together.
Man of the House,
Oh, yeah.
Chevy Chase, and Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
What?
They're not
You're
hipster-
just,
they're
you're just
not-
naming movies
they're not
now.
hipster.
Was that a
Picks.
95?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're not hipster picks you've just forgotten about.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I always got that one in Jungle to Jungle mixed up. I don't know why.
They're the same movie. That's why. Yeah, for sure. Okay, next is our overrated.
Overrated. Joel, what do you have?
I'm going to get in trouble on this one.
Oh, I'm going to get in trouble with this one too because I chose Billy Madison.
Oh.
I should have read the synopsis, but instead I'm just going to read my review.
Oh.
Billy Madison is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever seen. At no point in this rambling, incoherent movie was it even close to anything that could be considered clever comedy. Everyone is now dumber for having watched it. I award it 2 stars, and may heaven have mercy on Adam Sandler's soul.
Yes, I will go back to school.
Ugh.
Back to school.
This is Billy Madison,
Back to school.
directed by Timer Davis, who directed Young MC Bust a Move and Total Noke Wild Things and Britney Spears Crossroads. So a couple music
Stop
videos
it.
and Britney Spears Crossroads.
Bet you thought that I had died.
That part. The
Starring
clown.
Adam Sandler, Bridget
Hemorrhage in my
Wilson.
head.
Norm Macdonald is in this. He's
Yeah.
funny, but
This movie's funny.
it's not.
It is.
And the reason I say it's overrated, number of reasons, but it debuted #1 at the North American box office.
Wow.
And it is frequently cited as one of Sandler's most popular and defining works. And it was nominated
wasn't even
at the
trying.
1995 MTV Movie Awards. Adam Sandler got a nomination for Best Comedic Performance.
Doyle rules.
It's not.
I think it's super funny.
I think that
Being
Billy
your pants is
Madison...
cool. Then call me Miles Davis.
And honestly, Happy
just quoting the
Gilmore,
movie.
Happy Gilmore, better.
is it
but
funny
not much
that
better.
The Billy Madison is so immature that Happy Gilmore seems highbrow.
That's bad.
Yeah, and I've just never been a big fan of Adam Sandler's shabba-doo personality.
Yeah, I get it.
Never been a big fan of that. This is definitely more shabba-doo than any of his
sure.
other films.
Completely.
I shouldn't say any of his other films. At least he was making like releasable films back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
you
not a fan
might-
of Billy Madison.
You might ruffle some feathers with that one.
Yeah,
but
'cause
you're a-
But I grew up in the era. Like I
get it.
was 15 when this came out.
You
This
should have
was
loved
being
it.
Quoted endlessly
Yeah.
around me, and I kept being like, "I don't stop looking at me, Swan." Okay, haha.
Quit looking at me, Swan.
I don't get it.
Zach loves it.
Chris Farley's funny in it.
Yeah, he is funny. The whole movie's funny.
No.
I'm shampoo. I make the hair clean.
I've never seen Zach so happy.
What is happening right
It's
now?
adorable. Can we just pause the show and have you just quote the movie? You've never seen the movie when I quote the whole thing.
All right. Let's move on so we stop quoting this horrible film.
I've got another one for you guys to quote because my overrated pick is after his auto parts tycoon father dies, the overweight, underachieving son teams up with a snide accountant to try and save the family business.
Why are you bashing on Tommy Boy?
Guys, this movie's always been overrated. And here's the thing.
Don't you
we
remember
love
your
Chris Farley. We love David Spade. Together, they're a great pair. But it's just not great. It's another
It's
road trip
great.
movie where you're like, I like these guys. It's funny.
Kent, that actually hurts me that you said that. Not as much here or
here so much.
but right here.
Yeah, and I did rewatch this for the Comedy of Comedies when
Yes.
we were doing that prep, and I liked it more now as an older person rather than back then because for some reason, and this says a lot about me, Billy Madison was my flavor, but Tommy Boy wasn't.
Yeah.
You
And I
know?
was opposite.
Yeah, I think it's too much hijinks. It's too much. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. What else is going to happen?
So crazy when they went back to elementary school.
That's high concept, Joel.
I will take Adam Sandler shabadooing over Chris Farley yelling. It's just a personal taste thing.
Yeah.
And I
Chris
get
Farley yells a lot.
sounds a comedy. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So,
All right, Zach. I think we've ruffled some feathers.
oh, it's going to get so much worse.
Let's do it.
Listen, the movie is good. Is
Okay.
it great? No. Do I like it as much as everybody else?
Okay.
No. I don't know.
Read the synopsis.
William Wallace leads the Scottish uprising against English rule after suffering a personal tragedy.
We'd like to thank our patrons.
I think Braveheart's overrated.
My goodness.
I had a lifetime of hearing about this movie, and I saw it like 2 years ago, and it was fine.
It's improv that's ruined him.
It's like a lesser
It's every
Gladiator.
time someone says, "Hey, name a movie," and of course they go, "Hey, one of the most recognizable movies ever: Braveheart or Titanic."
I don't even know what to say at this point.
It's fine. It's
because
fine.
it's true. Braveheart is one of those enduring things. Wait, how much do you like Gladiator?
I think that Braveheart's a lesser Gladiator.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Braveheart cried freedom so Gladiator could entertain us. Gladiator.
Gladiator. No, I think it's fine. It's fine. It's long.
It is long.
I don't know what's happening.
How do you like the Snyder cut?
It's great.
Long.
So much
The score.
better
The
than-
emotions.
fine. It's fine.
Kent, let's let him have his wrong opinion.
I don't think it's a bad movie. I just don't think it's what everybody says about it.
Freedom.
Sorry.
Freedom. Huh?
Sorry. You can send your
I'm resisting the urge to pick up my mace over here on the ground right now and attack you in your bed.
$75 million movie. Mel Gibson directed it. Sophie Marceau.
It brought back modern epics.
It did.
The battle scenes are impeccable.
They may take our lives.
Brendan Gleeson's in the movie.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. We're good now.
I just
Perfectly rated.
like I was delighted by him when he was quoting Billy Madison before, and now I'm just so
Shabba-doo.
upset with him.
Now do Braveheart doing Billy Madison.
Freedom.
He was ready with that too, and that's what I hate about it.
I hated that. I like that.
I feel like you practiced that.
I laugh at that. Oh, man.
Yeah, never take our freedom.
We could take our lands.
It's a land.
We don't ever take our freedom.
You take my back. Stop it.
Snack bag. Go find your freedom.
If
Anyway.
wearing a kilt is cool. All right.
Okay, we're done. We're done.
Boy.
I'm so mad at this show now.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's good, but not. I think it was a little overrated when I saw it. Moving.
Uh-huh.
That's
Okay.
fine.
What was-
may I give an honorable mentions? By the
please
way?
do.
Yeah,
Yes,
please
yes,
do.
I did give an honorable mentions to Mallrats, and I did give an honorable mentions to Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about Bad Boys because Bad Boys 2 is so much better.
It's overrated.
Taya Leone's in it. Though.
She's good in it.
Yeah, she's Taya Leone.
And Heat.
Whoa.
Not even.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's.
That's one of those, Zach. I'm gonna kind of quote you here.
Oh.
That's one of those where it got built up so much.
I get it.
Yeah.
And by the time I watched it, I was like,
I get it, but it's like two of the best actors of all time, like
Yeah.
sitting across from each other.
Yeah.
and
That's a wonderful
that's a good. That's it. I'm not saying it's a bad movie,
No, I get you.
but it's a
The
good
shootout
movie.
in the street.
The shootout takes forever.
Joel, that is insightful, and I understand where you're coming from.
Oh, look at this guy understanding.
Thank you, Zachary.
All right. Let's
I
talk.
hate myself.
Yeah, you should.
All right. What is the lesser sequel?
Can I go first on this one?
Please do.
I hate to do this because Batman must battle former District
No.
Attorney Harvey Dent. But we
Why?
talk about it so much.
It's got sauce.
I actually loved the movie at the time, but after seeing Batman Returns, which I think is the best of the classic 80s and 90s Batman movies, I love Batman Returns.
That's your favorite of all?
It is my favorite.
Wow.
I think it's dark enough. It feels right. And then Batman Forever is like, hey, you got a black light? You like neon?
I do, and I do.
You still do?
I still have a black
Joel,
light. and
do you
I
have a
still
lava lamp?
I do. I keep everything from the 90s.
Joel, do you listen to the Grateful Dead and Fish?
No, that's
Okay, good. That's the line right there.
yeah.
I just think it fell off. Then again, there are other sequels that I want to talk about, but just because it's like the one where I was like, yeah, I can tell you're going downhill.
There's so many choices.
Yeah, there's
I
so
don't
many
have
choices.
a strong one.
And
Well,
I have honorable mentions.
And
so.
I understand why you picked this, Kent, because you don't like the lighter Batman, you like the darker Batman.
Yeah,
So
correct.
I understand that.
Yeah.
what do you have, Joel? Let's skip me to go
okay.
to you.
Well,
Because I can't decide.
Well, I'm
you
gonna
can't
mention-
decide.
I'm going to mention something you already said.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can go.
Listen, I'm going to go with John and Max resolve to save their beloved bait shop from turning into an Italian restaurant just as its new female owner catches Max's attention.
This grumpier old man.
Grumpier old men.
Yeah.
Listen, that's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But it's just more of the same
Yeah.
little...
It is really
grumpier-
like, it feels like the same exact, like it's just one long movie. is
It
what
just
feels
kind of
like.
continues on. Anne Margaret's in it, and
Yep.
she's
Yeah.
lovely, but...
And they're fun to watch.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, we got to get a little, we have to have the dramatic moment. In the first one, he like got sick, and then in this one, we're gonna have Dad die or whatever.
Yeah. It's a lesser sequel.
But
You're right.
it is a lesser sequel.
I think that's a noble pick.
Doesn't have any reason to exist.
Did I say noble? That seems weird.
It is noble.
It's noble.
Noble pick.
I mean, Walter Matthau and
Thank you
Jack.
for raising the average age of our movies.
Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon in a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good
They're
combo.
great.
Yeah.
But it just brings nothing to the table and has no reason to exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like, did the first one make so much money? They're like, we got to make it.
We got to go.
Hey,
And they were ready.
aliens, grumpy old men.
They were ready with
They're grumpier.
grumpiest old men. They
Yeah.
were like, we're going to do this. And, something fell through.
so sad
Yeah.
they died.
Oh, so sad.
What?
Joel?
So my pick for lesser sequel, I'm sorry, Zach, it's Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Obviously.
I'm not upset at that.
But I do, because I just feel like this is directed by Steve Odenkirk, who did Nothing to Lose and Kung Pao Enter the Fist, and him and Jim Carrey are good friends. I found out, by the way, that Spike Jonze, the Jonze,
Yeah.
Spike Jonze,
Yeah.
wanted to direct the film, but Jim Carrey turned him down because he just didn't know him well enough for who he was.
Because he was too creative.
And he claims that was one of his. Jim Carrey claims this is one of his biggest regrets.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions real quick.
Yeah.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah.
It's better than 2. Way better than 2. So
Yeah,
it
it's
comes
like
back.
1, 2, 3.
But it's not as good as
1, 2, 3.
It's not as good as 1. Father of the Bride Part 2, kind of like Grumpier Old Men. It's fine.
Yeah. I had Father of the Bride Part 2 as an honorable mention
I had Father of the
as well.
Bride 2 as well.
I like it, though.
I like the concept though of
Yeah.
like her being pregnant at the same time as
Sure.
her mom. That was
But
funny.
the first one has heart,
yes.
Yeah.
and the second one is just kind of fun.
More the same. And then Under Siege 2, Dark Territory.
Yep.
Under
Wow.
Siege is the only good Steven Seagal movie. And then they're like, here's 2. And
Yeah.
it's nothing good.
Well, and then I also put Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers.
Oh, yeah.
because every sequel after Halloween is
Yep.
is a lesser sequel.
Oh,
But yeah,
every single one.
I just Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls was one of those ones that I thought the first one was so funny, and then I watched the second one and I was like, well, I just don't think it's as funny. I thought it was more crude too,
Yeah.
as well, and that
That's why
kind of
I liked
bothered me. But honestly, the rhino birthing scene is hilarious. I also find it weird that Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls seems to be more memeable in the modern day.
Yeah, it does.
Than the original movie. Like I see more memes about When Nature Calls.
Well, remember, that original movie is actually a detective movie.
yes.
Like, there's a mystery that's going on, where in the second one is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Next up, we're going to talk about The Stuff of Nightmares. Honorable mention to me doing a Billy Madison impression to Joel.
Which is funny because so in the 80s one, you weren't born.
Yeah.
But Joel and I, we talked about how we saw these movies when we were young.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe 4, maybe 7, whatever. But it really messed us up because we were of the age. So maybe Zach, you have
Maybe
a
4,
movie.
maybe 7. What kind of math are you doing over there?
4 to 7. I'm just saying you probably didn't see the movie when you're 4, even though we were 4 or 5, right? It doesn't matter. But Zach, did you see a movie that messed you up?
Nope, sure didn't.
Power Rangers did.
I watched Indian in the Cupboard, dude. Like, that was good.
Is that your choice?
No.
Okay.
No, but although the kid's acting in
Sure.
Indian in the Cupboard, now I'm having some reconsiderations of whether I should have put that in the Stuff of Nightmares. 2 detectives hunt a serial killer whose crimes reflect the 7 deadly sins, directed by David Fincher.
Finger boop, Zach.
7 is the Stuff of Nightmares.
Absolutely it is.
Okay,
talked
hold on.
about-
Let's paint the picture.
I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way.
So there's a lot of really graphic scenes where they investigate, and there's
But they're not graphic in the sense of like you never actually see the murders. It's always the aftermath of the murders.
and so they're finding the bodies
Somehow worse.
of
Yeah.
someone that's
Yeah.
deceased, and it was done through one of the 7 deadly sins. But they go and investigate sloth.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. The sloth
Sloth is
crime
bad.
scene is probably number 1. Finding out how it happens. Seeing the aftermath of all of them
yeah.
is it sticks with you.
Yeah.
And then, frankly, you want to talk Stuff of Nightmares? What's in the box? I mean, I knew that. So I only watched this movie a few years back. I saw it as an adult. I didn't see it, obviously, when I was 5 years old. But I had known about the what's in the box thing. And I legitimately thought it was like Pulp Fiction, where it's like, you
Yeah.
don't actually know. No, you know. And it's bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, here's the funny thing, and I think I maybe talked about this. Oh, by the way, 7, directed by David Fincher, who directed such music videos as She's Like the Wind by Patrick Swayze, Straight Up by
She's
Paul
Like the
Abdul,
Wind.
Vogue by Madonna, Cradle of Love by Billy Idol, and then
Awesome.
he also did a bunch of movies after that.
Yeah.
Including The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. There you go, Kent.
Oh, that's the only one?
And Alien 3. But no, this movie, and the reason I
He did the MySpace movie?
I wanted to put it in there for Stuff of Nightmares, because I think I mentioned this before, is that I was a missionary for the Church of Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I had another missionary that was telling me kind of about movies and stuff, and I love movies, and so he's like, yeah, this movie's 7, and I'm like, I never saw it, tell me the plot of it.
Yeah.
So he proceeds to tell me the entire plot of the movie, and I had a hard time sleeping that night.
Even hearing it.
Even just hearing
Yeah.
it was horrifying. And I remember thinking, wow, that movie sounds really dark. And then I eventually saw it, and I'm like, yep, that's a really dark movie.
And I would say it falls under Stuff of Nightmares because it's not outside of the realm of possibility.
It's true crime filmed with a grimy lens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Truly, that's what it is.
And it stars Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Christopher Plummer.
Yeah.
bringing
Thank
that
you very
joke
much.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Zach. This was, by the way, the 7th highest grossing film of that year of 95.
I love that.
So kind of weird.
That's so cute.
And Brad Pitt, we talk about the fact that he legitimately wanted to do all his own stunts, and he slipped and fell on a hood, crashed through a windshield, and then had cut tendons and nerves in his left hand. And that's why he wears a cast in the movie. They had to rewrite it.
Oh, wow.
So he wears the cast because he legitimately had to wear a cast.
Brad Pitt, guys. Brad Pitt this year.
He's the-
12 Monkeys. Like, he kind of uglied himself, right?
Yeah.
For 12 Monkeys, where he played an insane asylum patient, and then 7.
It's because he was coming off of Legends of the Fall, and he wanted to distance
Yeah.
himself from the pretty boy romantic lead type.
He's so good.
He's very good in it.
Yeah.
He's good in everything.
He really is.
Let's do a Brad Pitt show.
Not a
maybe.
movie. 7 is not a movie that I would recommend watching on the regular, because
No.
that was bad for your soul.
I mean, I think early on in my time in Baconsale, I put this down as a one and done movie.
Yeah, I
right.
get it.
I think we've mentioned it on One and Done on our
You're
episode.
good. You're good. But it's worth watching
Yep.
once. Then you'll have the nightmares and you'll relive it.
Okay, guys, you're right.
Yeah.
But I chose that for my Mount Rushmore.
Right.
Yes, of
And
course.
so let me paint a picture. Let me describe the scene.
Paint away.
But I'll get a nightmare.
2 villains are discussing these secret plans.
Oh, boy.
Meanwhile, there's a robot rhinoceros. And he's spying on things. Very, very clearly fake rhinoceros.
Oh.
What?
And then all of a sudden, the guy that is driving the rhino, he's sitting in there, and he's acting a lot like Ryan Reynolds.
Sweating profusely.
The fan goes off. He starts to feel the heat, but he can't get out. And the rhino overheats internally. Just then, a family safari group pulls up as Ace Ventura is trying to break free head first out of the small hole from a rhino. And he bursts out fully nude. And the family runs back to their Jeep. This scene is the stuff of nightmares. It's the only thing I can remember from Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. Why does this exist?
It's horrifying.
It's horrifying,
And
but
why
it's,
did all 3 of us have this as a pick?
it's one of Jim Carrey's best gags. But also, why does Ryan Reynolds pattern himself after Ace Ventura?
yeah.
question.
It's
You can't make me hate this guy more, but maybe you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that for me is nightmare fuel. I hate that movie, but I'll never not think of it.
It's a good way to put it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is nightmare fuel for sure. Next up, and
Such a weird choice.
finally, we're just going to go with the most watched of 1995.
Yeah, kind of our personal watch it all the time kind of
Yeah.
thing. That's not on our Mount Rushmore that we already talked about, because like we said, almost every answer in this could have been one of the ones on Mount
Oh,
Rushmore.
yeah.
So for all these categories, I could have picked Braveheart or Clueless or GoldenEye or Toy Story. And even on this one, that probably would have fit most of those. But since I already put it up there, I have to pick something else.
Okay, what'd you pick?
After an auto parts tycoon father dies, the overweight, overachieving son teams up with a snide accountant to try and save the family business. That's right. I chose Tommy Boy.
You're a maniac.
Directed by Peter Segal, who directed Naked Gun 33 and a Third, Anger Management, and 50 First Dates. Starring Chris Farley, David Spade, and then you get Dan Aykroyd and Brian Dennehy and Rob Lowe. Remember when Rob Lowe was like the villain
Yeah.
in a lot of these SNL
Yeah.
movies? I don't know what was going on there.
What?
I love this movie.
You love it?
I do. I gave it 4.5 stars.
Oh my gosh.
I had the soundtrack, and it has quotes throughout the soundtrack. Me and my friends would quote this movie to each other all the time. But I do, like I mentioned, I think in the comedies, I think you had to be a teenage boy when this movie came out to fully appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because it is, I found out it didn't do as great at the box office as I thought. So about 20 million was the budget. It made 32 million or 33 million.
That's all.
Which it was they called it a success, which I'm like, that's not even double the budget back. But then they ended up making, Black Sheep is kind of not a sequel, but a similar premise.
Yeah.
But it's so bad.
But Tommy Boy, and I found out, by the way, Tommy Boy is one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite comedies. He owns a 35 millimeter print of the movie and sometimes screens it at parties at his house.
Imagine hey, you want to smell feet and watch Tommy Boy?
You. Yeah.
And the original title for Tommy Boy was called Rocky Road. It's a road trip.
It's a road trip.
I hate it.
But I will laugh every time David Spade's hair flies up. I will laugh every time he gets hit across the face with a board when he's like, is there a breeze? I don't know. The whole thing is hilarious. The housekeeping thing. I think Tommy
What
Boy's-
did you do?
Yeah. Fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah.
Chris Farley was one of those that I felt his comedic talent was not geared for everyone.
Yeah.
As I completely understand. But it hit my funny bone, and I'm totally on board with it.
Okay, great
I have
pick.
honorable mentions, but I'll wait till
Okay, save
after
it.
you guys give yours.
You don't have mine because I think you maybe mentioned.
And I don't think either one of you are going to pick the ones I'm going to pick.
Yeah, go for it.
My honorable mentions here, other ones would be While You Were Sleeping. I absolutely love
yeah.
that
How have you
movie.
not mentioned that yet?
That is it's one of those underrated Christmas movies. People forget it's out there, but it is so fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas movie?
It's a Christmas movie.
No, it's not.
Believe it or not, it is.
Oh.
And then Babe.
We haven't talked about Babe.
I love Babe. I love Babe.
I love Babes too.
No, not Babe.
That's a sequel.
No, it's not. That's
like
Babe Pig in the
Alien
City.
Aliens,
Babe
Babe
Pig in the
Babes.
City is the sequel to Babe.
Oh, dang it. That's a different movie.
Both those movies I could watch anytime and be happy, and I just thoroughly enjoy them. So, Babe and Pig in the City.
Babe, part of the Mad Max franchise?
Hey, Joel.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'll do.
That'll do.
That'll
Babe.
do, Babe.
I cry every time it
course
does
you
Babe.
do.
Every time.
That's good. Okay, Kent, what is yours?
When a powerful secret defense system is stolen, James Bond is assigned to stop a Russian crime syndicate from using it. Directed by Martin Campbell, starring Pierce Brosnan, Isabella Scorupco, and Sean Bean. We
Golden Eye.
have Golden. This is my
Skyfall.
This is my first Bond movie, and I found it so approachable. In fact, I still think it's the most approachable James Bond movie.
Well, and this was after that 6-year gap
Yeah.
of legal disputes. And they
Yeah, and
couldn't
the
do a Bond movie.
recast and all
and
that.
this was a reboot, it felt like, of James
yeah.
Bond.
They didn't
Yeah.
do that third Timothy Dalton movie. Moved
Right.
on.
Yes.
Got what's his name? Magnum. What was this show?
Oh,
Magnum
Remington
PI.
Still?
No, Remington Steele.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched this one a few times that year. And then
Yes. I had this
it became
poster on
a
my wall as well.
regular on movie nights for some reason. And I didn't even I liked Tomorrow Never Dies. I liked we'll stop there for Pierce Brosnan, but
Yeah, probably.
I kept watching this one.
world is not.
And even though
that
it
song.
follows a lot of the Bond tropes, I didn't know about them yet. And so I was totally in.
But it does them well.
That's one of the reasons I chose to pick this as on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Is because this kind of defined. I knew some of the Sean Connery ones originally.
Yeah.
But this was like my Bond movie. I'm like, I don't know all this. This is introducing me to this
Yeah.
kind of concept. I also had the poster on my wall, Zach, and you'll be very happy to know that I thoroughly fell in love with that little blue BMW.
Oh, the Z3.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that baby blue little car.
great.
Yeah. Every part of this is great.
I hate it, but it's a cool
Oh,
car.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Rude.
Why is James Bond driving a German car? Ah! But it's cool.
Is that German?
But it's a cool car.
Yeah.
Beautiful car.
Love it.
All right, Zach, what do you have?
Okay, well, can I just talk for a minute about GoldenEye?
Yeah, no, go for it.
I'm surprised. I want to congratulate Kent
Yeah.
on showing so much restraint for not talking about any of the Bond girls.
I did. I said Isabella Scorupco.
You did?
Yeah.
Never mind.
I love her so
take
much.
that back.
And Xenia Onatopp.
I take that
On the top.
congratulations
Johnson?
back.
No, yeah, Famke Johnson in that movie. Mercy.
Listen, that movie is like a perfect Bond movie,
Yeah.
like of a certain flavor.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not my favorite,
A 90s
necessarily,
flavor?
but it's got all of the necessary things. Alan Cumming as Boris.
I'm invincible.
Yeah, I mean the Bond girl in it is useful and smart, and that's so nice.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't happen enough in these
And
movies.
beautiful.
And Pierce Brosnan is easily, to me, the most handsome James Bond.
And beautiful.
So love GoldenEye so much, but I didn't pick it.
Because that was in your Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
It was
of
in my Mount
course.
Rushmore because it's me. I have to. Okay, but what is my most watched for my own reasons and the next generation is a cowboy doll is profoundly jealous.
There it is.
When a new spaceman action figure supplants him as the top toy in a boy's bedroom. Toy Story.
Yeah, we've
shocked.
glossed over Toy Story.
I was
So
shocked,
many
Zach, you didn't have that in your Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, me too.
Shocked, I tell you.
I didn't put it in my Mount Rushmore so
it
I could
belonged
put
here.
it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it really is. I love Toy Story. I love what it goes on to become. I've given this first movie a hard time before because
Animation's a little
animation's a
janky.
little weird. It's a very simplistic movie, but
Yeah.
it's an absolute icon of a movie.
And that's one of the reasons I chose it for my Mount Rushmore is because like Goldeneye was that kind of defining James Bond reinventing.
Yeah.
And Toy Story literally
Start a new animation.
groundbreaking in animation. The first feature-length animated CGI movie.
But it also it's got the heart. We talk about these Disney movies and these Pixar movies lacking this heart. It really has that. It's a very simple story, but it works so well.
I found out it was a rough road to that path as well because they originally Disney kept wanting it to be more edgy, and they turned like Woody into a jerk.
About toys?
Yeah, they wanted a more edgy story because Tin Toy was the short that Disney saw and went like, oh, we want that. And they actually had fired John Lasseter before, and they tried to get him back for that. He's like, no. And they're like, okay, what do we do a co-production with Pixar?
Oh, okay.
And then Disney tried to change it a bunch, and then finally Pixar said, no, let's do it our way.
Good.
Did it great.
Yeah.
Yeah, directed by John Lasseter, starring Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Don Rickles is in this movie.
Yeah.
As Potato Head, you have Wallace Shawn as Rex. Like, it's got these fun characters that become icons through it all. But yeah, I mean, sure, Woody's a jerk. Tries to kill Buzz at one point.
He's much less of a jerk in the later version.
Would you say he's a buzzkill?
Oh, that was good.
We got him.
Oh, you're such a funny guy.
No, it's an icon. You watch it all the time, and as a parent, I am trying to talk my kids into like, hey, you guys want to watch Toy Story or any of the subsequent sequels? I'll even take 4.
Ooh,
it's still a
all
good
right.
movie.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
But Toy Story 2 is still my favorite.
the best.
Yeah, my toddler, he's almost 3 now, and he's started his Buzz Lightyear phase.
Oh, cool. All right.
Stoked. He's got a couple of the action figures. Like we're having a good time with that. But
I do feel bad that many of the kids seem to have a Buzz Lightyear phase more than
it's
Woody the Sheriff
it's kind of meant to
phase.
be, I think,
Yeah.
because it's such an old-fashioned toy.
art imitates life, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that really is. You have your soft, fun toys, and then you're like, oh, this one's cool. Look, the wings pop out.
Right.
All of that is great. But I mean, it's
The helmet does that whoosh thing.
it's the worst thing. Tom Hanks yelling. It's just great. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I can stand it, but it's great. I mean, him yelling, "You are a toy."
Yeah.
And you are a sad, strange little man. Like that whole the dynamic is great. Arguably Tim Allen's best role, and clearly, Toy Story's a legend.
Yeah. Santa Claus?
That's what I'm thinking. But
No, yeah, it's Toy Story.
except for Tim Allen
For
episode.
movies, yeah, either Santa Claus or
But
Buzz.
no, I think Buzz Lightyear is iconic, and I think he's a wonderful character.
yeah. What more can you say? It's Toy
Yeah.
Story.
It's Toy Story, and it's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Honorable mention. This might be a deeper cut.
Go
but,
on.
I like Heavyweights, and I've watched Heavyweights.
Yeah, no one's mentioned Heavyweights until
many
now.
Yeah,
times.
Ben Stiller.
I never really caught on to it.
Yeah,
Who's the
Yeah.
kid though?
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Bunch of kids.
Yeah.
and I don't know. Maybe it hasn't held up.
Oh, Keenan is in that movie,
That's
isn't he?
who I'm
He
thinking of.
is, yeah. It's plump kids are lured into joining a posh fat camp with the promise of quick weight loss and good times, only to find that woodland heck hole run by a psycho ex-fitness instructor.
Yeah.
And Ben Stiller just going full send into crazy. He's really good in it, and it's a mediocre movie.
Yeah.
I've seen it many times.
That kind of movie.
To the point where when anyone ever says 9, I just say 9 is German for no, because it's just like a throwaway line in that movie. Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
I don't. So there you have our 1995 films in a nutshell. But we know there are many other films out there. In fact, I'm looking at my honorable mentions list, and there's many here we didn't even talk about, but I'm not going to mention them because we want you to. On Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. Those are all the places you can find our social media posts and our videos. And we want to hear your comments and hear your answers for each one of these categories, as well as any others we may have not spoken about. Because, we found out 1995, actually pretty good year for film. Terrible for music, though.
Oh, it's bad. We're not doing that.
We were
show.
listening before.
Before we go, we want to thank some patrons in a couple of special categories, including the I Am the Listener tier, which is Sawyer Western, Casey Cummings, Juice the Cooler King Swallow, Some Guy, Jennifer Kilkowski, Taylor Not the Bill Sanderson, St. Shannon and Sir James West, Rocky and Steph, Adam and Rachel Crump, Ryan and Marley, Lady Terrier Finley, and Scott Mookie Blaylock Sprague. Well, there we go. Then we have our Bacon Council, which is Debbie Foster, Glow Clen Daniel, our favorite couple, the Madsons, the other Brit Johnny English, Star Wars expert Kyler, Her Royal Highness Jessica Terry, Stephen everyone's favorite Ross, the one, the only Chris Anderson, Nicole D. Kale, and Beaker.
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you, patrons. You are the Shabba to our Dooba.
Yeah, he did it again.
Hate. But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter. Twitter. You can find me perform with the Quick Wits, who perform at the studio at the Parker Theater. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quick Wits Facebook page.
You can find me on Twitter at Kenny3DD. You can find me on Instagram at KentCDunn. You can read my movie reviews at ShowtimeShowdown.com.
And if you'd like to connect with me, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Zachary Western. But more importantly, make sure you're following Baconsale. Please like that Facebook page and then go to @Baconsale on Twitter and Instagram. After you've done that, go to tpublic.com/Baconsale. Get yourself some merch. And then if you like what's going on here and you want to support us further, visit patreon.com/Baconsale. Support starts at just $3 a month. You can get access to all sorts of behind the scenes fun, including Joel's vacation adventures of clean.
And Zach's adventures in a teeny tiny ballpark.
Teeny tiny ballpark. Patreon.com/Baconsale. So until next time, are you got a friend in me?
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl if it looked good, I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat with a 6'4" Impala. I wish I was like 6'9" so I could get with Leoshi because she don't know me, but she's really fine. Then we talk about the box and Zach would get mad.
Box is nothing. I walk through the valley where I harvest my grain. I take a look at my wife and realize she's very plain. That's just perfect for an Amish like me.
Zach's movie voice is kind of hot.
Say it like you say it.
And I'm Zack.
That's cute. You guys had that moment. I still don't understand it. I lost gray hair in that moment.
You can do that?
Yeah. Hair club for men.
Just for men.
Just for men?
That's the dye.
I grew it, and then it went more brown.
That makes sense.
This is what they call problematic.
Clicked the wrong thing. I'm like, that's not it.
I didn't know I was exposing.
It's a giant egg.
I was exposing Zach's lies.
Yeah.
Unintentionally.
Those spandex suits? Nah, man. Leather panels. In my mind, Ivan Ooze is the greatest villain in film.
No, I was not acid burn. You were one of those chat room guys, huh?
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat!
Flawless victory.
Mortal Kombat! Finish him! Mortal Kombat!
Muscatools. It's not over. It's not over, Christina.
I also love Batman and Robin, guys.
And
I do.
I patterned myself after Jason Lee my entire late teens.
Isn't it
But
funny
not much
that
better.
Billy Madison is so immature that Happy Gilmore seems highbrow. I'm shampoo. I make the hair clean.
I've never seen Zack so happy.
What is happening right
It's
now?
adorable.
I'm resisting the urge to pick up my mace over here on the ground right now and attack you in your bed.
We take our names. We don't ever take our freedom.
You take my ass back. Stop it.
We have no problem with you laying here. Yeah. Just don't chew stuff. It's for your own good, Finn. No choo-choo.
Hey, you want to smell feet and watch Tommy Boy? Freedom.
Ones we didn't mention, by the way. Brady Bunch movie.
Oh, no.
Major Payne, Rob Roy,
No, I'm fine.
Congo.
Congo,
I
First
thought would
Night,
come up.
Species,
Yeah.
Walk in the Clouds. Also hated that
A
one.
Kid in King Arthur's Court.
Oh, yeah.
Canadian Bacon was awful. Get Shorty, Powder,
Get Shorty.
Powder.
Oh, my gosh.
Casino, Balto,
Pebble and the
Casino,
Penguin.
I felt bad
Balto.
about not mentioning Casino.
Tom and Huck,
Yeah.
Mr. Holland's Opus.
Oh, no.
More like Mr. Holland's overrated. I almost chose it.
What was that for?
Mr. Holland's Opus.
What category?
That's probably why it didn't come up.
Highlander, The Final Dimension.
Oh, my God.
Because it's not like I'm putting Mr. Holland on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Tell
Beautiful,
someone.
beautiful Cole.
Put on some speed.
That's
Follow my lead.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what.
Oh, how I need